Hello everybody! Today we are diving into something that is as timeless as the Torah itself. How nurturing our relationships, from marriages to friendships, can literally add years to our lives. Arguing with God, doctors, and relatives also can add years to our lives and definitely keeps our minds sharp, but that's a topic for another episode. Today we'll focus on relationships. This week, we read Parashat Vayechi, the final portion of Genesis, and we see Jacob on his deathbed at the ripe old age of 147, blessing his sons and settling family matters. Then we see Joseph at 110, wrapping up his own legacy. Yes, only 110. Absolutely shocking, right? What happened to those people? Abraham lived 175, Jacob 147, and poor Joseph only 110. Rabbinic thought, perhaps half in jest, ascribes this drop to the growth of their family, meaning the more wives, kids, and grandkids they had, the shorter was their lifespan. Rings true. Having to deal with family can be a source of a lot of stress, right? But the Talmud also hints that the opposite can be true, on the condition that we manage our relationships well. Then our family relationships and friendships will be a blessing for us and will add to our years. And yet again, it's all about relationships, honoring parents, forgiving siblings, and deepening connections between us. Managing our relationships well boosts our health and our lifespan. And guess what? Modern science is catching up, showing that strong social bonds aren't just good for the soul. They are an elixir for the body as well. So stick around. This one's got a data, drama, and a bit of divine wisdom. First, let's talk about the power of saying I do, or at least committing long-term. So let me start with a few pieces of rabbinic wisdom. In the tractate Yevamot and Ketubot, Resh Lakish says that it is better to dwell together as two than to dwell alone as a widow. And on the same page, the Talmud says that a wife lights up husband's eyes and stands him on his feet. In Yevamot 62b, Rav Bar Ula says, one who does not have a wife is left without peace. And again, immediately after that, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says, a man is obligated to visit his wife for the purpose of having intercourse when he is about to depart on a journey. And in another place, we read that any man who has no wife lives without joy, without blessing, and without goodness. It adds that without a wife, one lacks Torah, protection, and peace. And of course, as we see, all of this is centered around man, because it was written by men at the height of their cultural dominance. But the message seems quite clear. Having a life partner is crucial for maintaining peace of mind and health. Now let's talk about contemporary scholarship. A fresh study from November 2025 from the CDC gives us some numbers. For example, married men have about 10% lower mortality rate than their single counterparts. That's right. Tying the knot reduces the risks of heart disease, dying in accidents, you name it. Why? Spouses nag you to eat your veggies, drag you to the doctor when you're sick, and keep you from scrolling the internet alone into oblivion, or all kinds of stuff we get involved in when we are alone. It's like having a built-in accountability partner for life. But it's not just about marriage. It's the whole web of relationships. In another very recent study, they looked at over 2,100 middle-aged adults. And what they found in this massive long-term dataset is fascinating. Lifelong cumulative social advantage. Think strong friendships, family ties, community groups, and that warm and fuzzy emotional support actually slows down epigenetic aging. People with rich social lives have slower aging and lower inflammation markers, like interleukin-6. In plain English, good relationships dial down your body's stress response, keeping chronic inflammation, the silent killer behind everything from arthritis to Alzheimer's, at bay. So that weekly coffee with a friend, it's not just chit-chat, it's anti-aging therapy. Now, longevity isn't just about dodging bullets, it's about bouncing back from them together. Another October 2025 gem from the American Journal of Family Therapy zeroed on couples married 40 plus years. The golden oldies facing real storms in their life like illness or infidelity. The secret sauce? Joint coping. These duos thrive through open communication, sheer perseverance, and shifting from me to we. So, when you prioritize partnership, you build resilience that spills over into health. Less cortisol flooding your system means better sleep, stronger immunity, and yes, more years to argue over that thermostat or whatever. The bottom line is the structure of marriage, vows, shared goals, that ring as a reminder fosters healthier habits and emotional stability. And guys, this hits home for you especially. The data shows men reap bigger rewards here. And yes, this isn't always a fairy tale for women. Ladies, you often outlive your husbands by a landslide, sometimes years longer than if the roles were reversed. The research shows that if a husband loses his wife first, they don't last long, like 1 or 2 years, and that's it. But widows, they're handling it like pros, often for a decade, if not more. Maybe it's that legendary multitasking? I don't know. Or perhaps, gentlemen, we just can't boil an egg without guidance. Facetiously speaking, fellas, if you want to stick around, learn to fold your own laundry. It might add a decade. So, tying back to Vayechi, Jacob's epic life wasn't just about years, it was about meaningful bonds. He gathered his family, blessed them, ensured his legacy. Joseph forgave his brothers, mending rifts that could have shortened more lives. Science agrees. Invest in relationships. Manage them with care and watch your lifespan bloom. Yes, relationships can be toxic, can generate unhealthy stress, and work the opposite way. But these are challenges we need to face rather than run from and give up on relationships. Friends, whether it's Shabbat dinner with family or heart-to-heart with a buddy, these connections are your longevity superpower. Nurture them, communicate, forgive, let go, and commit. Who knows? You might outlive even Jacob. Thanks for tuning in to the Rabbi Mirski Show. If this resonated, share it with a friend. Drop a review, like, subscribe, and join me the next time. Lehitraot and live long.